Welcome to the Pilates Physios, where anatomy meets abs and science meets sweat. I'm Tanya, physiotherapist and co-founder of Studio Pilates International. I'm super passionate about making Pilates education better and training world-class Pilates instructors with real-world skills.
And I'm Mangahas, physiotherapist, course facilitator and veteran Pilates instructor.
Together we're diving into the world of Pilates from a physio's point of view, breaking down movement science, busting myths, sharing instructing tips, and helping you become the Pilates instructor everyone wants teaching their class.
There's some understanding in the Pilates industry that if you place someone in the correct position, that the muscles and the exercise technique is going to be completely fine. You know, what do you have to say about that term?
I think that's both correct and incorrect. So, obviously being in the right position, even if we're just talking about your spinal positions, having a neutral spine versus an imprint spine, making sure your shoulders are in the right position, your neck, your chin, etc. Yes, absolutely. You do need to be in the right position, and it's going to be much harder to activate the right muscles if you're not in the right position. However, for some people, they can be in the absolute perfect position and still not be activating the right muscles. So particularly people who've had injuries, because, when you injure yourself, a lot of those deep core stabilizing muscles switch off. Back pain, for example, you hurt your back, it's kind of counterintuitive, but the muscles that support your back get inhibited, and you can get someone in, they look like they're in the perfect position, but maybe their transversus abdominis is still not working. And I think, there is a certain percentage of the population that do really need to focus specifically on activating those core muscles and really think about them when they're doing the exercises, and go back to the basics of just activation for a bit and then progress through some of the basic exercises. And that's, imperative for the programming too. If you've warmed up the muscles and you've awoken all those core deep, proper stabilizing muscles, then you do some harder exercises in the right position, they're more likely to work. But you can't just assume you're in the right position for everyone they're going to work, because I think that's false. There are definitely a lot of people out there that won't be the case, which is also why you need to get good at really, your palpations to check if the right muscles are working. Ask clients where they're feeling it. They might look like they're doing it perfectly, but they're not feeling it in the right spot. It happens with glutes too. Happens with shoulder blade exercises. So yeah, no, I think it's naive to expect right position, everyone's going to have correct and best muscle activation.
Yeah, it is a bit of a challenging one to think about it, because like on the outside looking in, you go, of course that's going to happen, but people move very, very differently once they start actually exercising.
Yeah. So obviously you need the correct position, but I think you just need to be mindful that some people will still look like they're doing that perfectly, but somehow find a way to almost cheat and still use the wrong muscles even though they're in the right position. So, we've written courses together and we really focus heavily on that, physio-based core muscle activation, before going on to the harder exercises. And I still think that that's really important.
Yeah, nice. Cool.